Okay, so I remember this one story from when I started out playing jazz guitar. And I just remembered it because I just thought about the struggle I have when I just wanted to play jazz guitar, but I just didn't know what to do. I haven't been diagnosed with ADHD or something, but I felt like I had that. I think I have that kind of. I get easily overwhelmed basically by stuff. I have to kind of find my own strategies to not be overwhelmed basically. When I went to school, it was just a lot of talk about this and that, like how to play this scale, how to play over that tune, or it was a lot of information. And for me, that kind of feels overwhelmed easily. I had to find my own way of doing it. And so what I did now in the intro, I was playing Stella by Starlight. I'm going to tell you how you can simplify Stella by Starlight using linear expressions. And so linear expressions is the book, and it's the book that I've based everything of my teachings on. So I have a course that's called Improvisation Made Simple that's helped hundreds of people transform their playing forever. You can check that out in the description below if you're interested. My teachings is basically this, right? It's the formations, it's the linear expressions by Pat Martino. That's how I came out of the rut of feeling like I don't know what I'm gonna do with my playing, and like I was so overwhelmed with everything. So it's just how I do things, how I basically do it. And so if you look at the first chord of Stella by Starlight, it's an E minor 7 flat 5 going to an A7. And you can see this in different ways. The actual first chord is actually not an E minor 7 flat 5. If you look at the original recording, it's actually a right. Diminished major 7, the first thing, right? So that's the first sound. But just for like when you go into a jam session, people won't really play the diminished. So we're gonna stick to playing E minor 7 flat 5 to A7, and then it goes C minor F7, F minor 7, B flat 7, E flat major 7. So that's kind of the starting points. And when I started out, it was just like the teacher said, do E Locrian here, Mixo flat 2, flat 6, Dorian, Mixolydian, F Dorian, B flat Mixolydian, E flat Ionian. So that sounds pretty damn overwhelming for me. I can't think like that. That's not, I'm not going to make music from scales, okay? And you're probably not going to do it if you're similar to me. You just want, what you want right now is you want the tools to be able to sound good instantly, like now. And I think that's a good way to start, because if you sound good right now, what's that's going to do, if you sound good right now, what's that going to do is you will pick up the guitar tomorrow. And you will pick it up the day after because you sound good. You're not just playing scales. Why you picked up the guitar from the first part was because you wanna play music. And that is what I'm trying to make you do. And I mean, if I can help you with that, that will be my dream, right? So what we're gonna do is, how we're gonna use linear expressions to play over the first two chords is what we're gonna do is we're gonna see, first of all, then E minor 7 flat 5 and A7. This is a 2-5 in the key of D minor. And E minor 7 flat 5 is also known as a G minor 6. And how that works is you don't have to know exactly why and how if you don't want to, but it's just looking at the chord. Just look at these three notes. It's just a G minor triad. Right? So it's just seeing that and being like, okay, so since this is a G minor triad, that means I can use G minor stuff on it. Doesn't matter if you're soloing or playing chords. You can play, like I'm playing a G minor 9 here. If I want, it's a good thing. It just gives it that sound because we know that a G minor and a E minor 7 flat 5 are related, which means what you can do is you can use G minor stuff over an E minor 7 flat 5. And you're going to use it over the E minor 7 flat 5 and the A7. You're just going to think G minor over the both of those chords. So E minor 7 flat 5, A7 becomes G minor. And in linear expressions, we have this line. So this is not exactly in the linear expressions book. This is my version of it, just because I kind of wanted to do my own version, basically. So that's how I do it, right? Now, how does that sound over Stella by Starlight? Well, it sounds pretty good. E minor 7 5 5. Let's see how it sounds over Stella by Starlight. Let's go. Right? So it sounds pretty good. And that's just a fact. It just sounds good. So it's just amazing, right? What you can do with just using the first two chords of Stella by Starlight, using this. And you don't have to understand why it works, just that it's a G minor formation and it works really good over an E minor 7 flat 5, right? This is the flat 5. And it's also the third of G minor. So it just makes sense. And as I said, if you need a step-by-step guide, you want to take this to the next level and transform your playing forever, get the course, Improvisation Made Simple. You will probably not be disappointed, but it's a 14-day guarantee. So you can check that out in the description below. So that's basically stuff that also emerges. So knowing that this is the flat 5 of E minor 7 flat 5, right? That emerges from using the formations so much that you start seeing that, oh, so this is the minor flat, this is the flat 5. This is the flat 5 of E minor 7 flat 5, right? This becomes the 4th, right? You start seeing these stuff as when you start playing with them. So I would say don't be too focused on just learning as much theory as you can. Just learn to play, right? So learn these formations. So we have 4 formations. We have formation number 1. If we're talking about G minor here, you want to take them through all keys, by the way. And this is also stuff that you can get in Improvisation Made Simple down below. All the resources for that, everything you need, basically, if you want to take this to the next level, right? So you have G minor. This is formation number 1. You have G minor from the 3rd, which is formation number 2. You have G minor from the 5th, formation number 3, and then you have formation number 4, which is G minor from the 7th. So you have one line for the root, one line for the 3rd, one line from the 5th, and you have one line from the 7th. Isn't that just makes everything easier? You have one phrase that goes, and then you have, and you have, and you have, and then you kind of want to mix them up, right? Right? So you want to find ways to mix them up, and now you're improvising. It's not more difficult than that, basically. I mean, there are a lot more that goes into improvisation. You want to learn language too, but you know what's going to happen when you start learning this stuff? You'll see how the language you're listening to are tied to this kind of stuff, right? You're going to see that, oh, I just listened to Bud Powell playing, and now you see that, oh, it's from that formation. So now you can use the formation. You can use that to play like Bud Powell. And you can play it like you're, like imagine you're learning a random tune. Now I'm off topic here, but it's fine. Like Donna Lee by Charlie Parker. Right? Just looking at, right? You see it's part of this formation. right? And then you can go. So you will start seeing this. I promise you, you will start seeing the fretboard in a different way, because when you learn language, you will tie it to the formations. This is why this is the best thing ever. If you're anything like me, this will help you to just learn everything. So basically what I'm trying to say here is just learn the formations in all keys, all right? Learn formation 1, 2, 3, 4 in all keys, and just do it in all keys, because what we're going to do after that is when we've played the G minor formation over E minor 755 A7 over Stella by Starlight, what's happening then is it goes to C minor F7, and now we have to change to the C minor formation. So now you want to have the formations in all keys, because then what we can do is we can go from right? I played the first few bars of Stella by Starlight here, landing on that E flat major 7, because I knew where all the formations were, right? And I can play it here too. Right? It's once you memorize them and you start applying them to standards, it's just gonna make your life so much easier, and everything will just be so much easier. Because after the E minor 755 A7 and you go C minor F7, you're gonna play the same thing, but just in C minor, and then it goes F minor, B flat 7. Now you play it's the F minor formations. And it just all comes down to you learning them in all keys, because then you can just switch. And once you switch, you will get it down. All right? You will get it down. No problem. So do that. And if you want the expert help, join the course. Like, I'm not kidding, because you want to use this and you want to get out everything you can from this, then you should definitely join Improvisation Made Simple down below. Or Armin Mir Jazz is actually what I'm called on Instagram. So you can send me a DM there if you want to have personal lessons, which I have with a few people that want to get this personal help. So we talked about E minor 755 A7, C. So the first few bars, right, of Stella by Starlight, and then when it lands on the 1, E flat major 7, you can think C minor formations, and then you will outline all the chord tones in E flat major, right? So that's also just shows you that when you learn all the formations, you can just apply them to basically any chord. Basically any chord. Like, I'm not saying every chord, but basically every chord. And that will just, that's also a process. But once you get this down and you start using this, you start thinking about this. When you play with other people, you look at iReal and you see that tune and you're like, how can I convert these to minor? How can I think like a Pat Martino over this? How can I use linear expressions over this? Once you start doing that, the process has already started. You're about to simplify jazz forever. So just do that. It's really helped me. And I'm not saying it's going to help everybody, but it might help you. I'm just going from my own experience here. It really helped me. So that's basically what I want to say in this video. Take care of yourself, and practice makes perfect. See you.